Hey there! Are you tired of this stupid tier list system of grading enemy stats? Have you ever wanted to look at the enemy stats on difficulty 15 Sentinel, only to find out that these two drones have more HP than the boss? Have you always wondered how to pronounce those wacky Polish words thrown at you in the Kazimierz events? Well, there you go, someone made a website for that last one.
Sprawiedliwi. Sprawiedliwi.
There's a website for the other stuff too, and that's what this video is about. All links will be in the description. I'll start with the wikis, but I don't want to spend too much time on this. Most people know about the big ones like Terra Wiki, formerly the Arknights fandom wiki. There's operator and enemy info and other game mechanics stuff. You'll find more concrete numbers for enemy stats here. PRTS Wiki generally has the most detailed and accurate info on in-game mechanics and pretty much everything else, but most of the website is in Chinese. Aceship, probably the most well-known website for EN players looking for operator info. Unfortunately, it hasn't been kept up to date very well. Fortunately, there is a fork of the website that is being updated every time new CN operators are released. Its recruitment tool is up to date, the images aren't missing, and it actually tells you what the module's upgrades do. It also updates the wording of operator skills to the official translation when the characters are added to global. Whether or not that's a good thing remains up to you, as the official translation hasn't always been consistent. Lungman Dragon website. This isn't a wiki, but the Lungman Dragon strategy group made this website a few months ago. It contains a resource index with a bunch of the website I'm about to talk about and more. The person who wrote the game press guides and mastery priority started uploading their stuff there while game press is down, if you care about that. The first major website I wanted to talk about is the Arknights Map website. This is a great resource and database of map layout and enemy pathing. You can choose any map from pretty much every game mode in the game, even some of the April Fool's stages for some reason. When selecting a stage, you get a list of all the enemies that appear in this stage and the timing of when they appear. When an enemy is selected, their stats and info will be shown here. Down here, there's a heat map that can show you a bunch of stats per tile of the stage. For example, when selecting count, you can see how many enemies travel on each tile. You can also see the sum total of HP you have to deal with and a lot more. In the options, you can choose to keep perspective. It gives a 3D view of the map that can help you better visualize range tiles. On the top left, there's also this tool section which allows you to put operators in your squad and deploy them on the map. When deploying and removing operators, it keeps a log of the order in which you did each action. This website is really useful for learning the intricacies of certain maps and to share a general placement of your operators with others. Tomimi.dev is one of the main reasons I'm making this video, because I feel not many know about this website. It has two major functions. The first part is one of the most detailed operator filters out there. You have your basic rarity and class filter here, and you can further sort them by their subclass or factions. But the best part is these four sections here. The enemy debuff, ally buff, self buff, and others. You can basically find all the operators that can perform some specific thing you're looking for. For example, in ally buff, if you select attack, you will get all the characters that can buff your operator's damage. It even shows you the percentage or flat number increase in damage you're getting. Unfortunately, you do have to look further into a character's kit to know that some of them don't work on everyone. Zima here gives a 60% attack buff only to vanguards when her skill 2 is active. There are so many tags to filter operators by. You can look for all units that can apply status ailments like stun, cold, bind, or levitate. You can look for units that increase ally res, increase ally block count, give status resistance, heal unhealable, increase SP recovery, ignore enemy defense or res, have an unlimited duration skill, have an ammo based skill, or can manually deactivate their skill. Do note that ally buff and self buff are different. If you look for operators that have taunt themselves, you look for it in self buff and find characters like Moinar, Lee, and a few defenders. If you need a character that can give taunt to an ally, you'll find it in ally buff, and there's only Vendela who can do that at the moment. There's also a section with some IS relics to see all the operators that can benefit from them. Though I cannot imagine anyone actually using these characters to make use of the Expeditioner's field pack. Speaking of IS, the second part of Tomimi.dev I wanted to talk about is the Integrated Strategies section. If you've been around Twitch or Discord groups that play difficulty 15 IS, this is probably what you know Tomimi.dev for. Most websites that give you enemy stats like the Terra Wiki and Arknights Map will give you the base numbers with no stat modifiers from other game modes. On Tomimi.dev, you can look for any enemy on every single IS map and see their numbers based on the difficulty you selected, the floor you're on, and whether or not it's an emergency. You can also apply some relics you own in a run to see what their stats are when debuffed. In IS4, there's also the option to add the non-linear collapsal paradigm or the defense res boss key modifier. At the top here, there is some info on the reward for completing a stage and the probabilities of a bonus enemy or a chest. Did you guys know that the probability of getting a mimic chest is lower than that of pulling a 6-star operator in Arknights? For IS3, the website links to a clear of the stage in normal and emergency. There's even a video that shows you the path each bonus enemy takes and an image of where the last knight spawns and where the 2 chests can appear. Unfortunately, IS2 and IS4 doesn't have all these yet, but it is supposedly being worked on. Here, it tells you the number of enemies to guarantee a bonus enemy, but it doesn't take into account route with net. I know that some people have memorized how many enemies appear on each stage and can instantly know when there's a bonus enemy. I do know a decent few of them, but I'm not quite there yet. You do have to keep in mind that some stages have multiple variants with different enemy counts. Hands of Moss has a version with 20 enemies, which ends with 2 slugs here, and one with 21 enemies, which ends with 3 slugs. There's a chance that when you see the 21 enemy variant, you're actually getting the 2 slug variant with a bonus enemy. This tool is super useful for knowing the enemy stats under different circumstances and having an idea of what is or isn't possible with the operators you have. I almost always have a tab with Tomimi.dev open on the side when I play IS. MAA Assistant Arknights. This is a program that uses image recognition to automate certain tasks. I'm not going to pretend I understand how this works, and I mostly use it for one feature only. There is a video on YouTube already explaining how to use its basic features, link in the description as always. This tool can automate recruitments, base rotation, farming stages, friend visits, and reward collecting. But all these except maybe base rotation doesn't require that many clicks, and I don't fully see the point of automating them. My main use of this tool is to invest coin in IS. That's right, this thing can play IS for you. It will start runs, click on stages, and drag and drop operators. When selecting the task you want it to automate, in this case Auto IS, you can configure the settings here like the IS theme, the difficulty, your goal, the starting squad, and all that. Once that's done, you just click link start and leave it in the background while you do other things. It's honestly fascinating watching it play by itself. You can get it to reroll for a specific E2 start or a floor free bonus. I believe people use this to prepare their tournament runs for an E2 start or a love start in IS4 in order to guarantee a triple ending. But yeah, I just want to be able to take out as many coins as possible when in a shop, and this allows me to stock up on coins AFK. As far as I know, no one has been banned for using this tool. CN players use it, I think, so read about it on their website first and go in at your own risks. Also, this only works for certain emulators. Check their manual for more info. There's a link to their website to download it and the user manual in the 4 server languages to help you set up. These next sections will be much faster as I have less to say about these websites, but I still wanted to share them. Cluster is one of the most well-known account progression tracker out there. It allows you to keep track of all your owned and built operators and easily share that information with others. It has some other features like a recruitment tool and a material planner. Recently, Cluster got an update that allows you to easily transfer your actual in-game data to the website, including your roster and resource depot. Keep in mind, this is not officially endorsed by Yostar and works in a similar way to how you would normally log into your account. I'm not sure how they did this, so beware of the risk. Otherwise, you can still manually input your roster. Arknights Toolbox and Arknights Planner are both tools to plan out your materials and future upgrades. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really use any of these planners, so I don't know which ones are better, and Cluster also has one. Arknights Toolbox has this cute Amiya munching on a carrot, so that's a point in its favor. Penguin Statistics is one of the more popular websites here that shows you item drop rates. They gather data through player reports, and most of the charts and spreadsheets you will find online get their data from this. Arculator is a pool calculator. It allows you to calculate or predict how many pools you'll have between now and a select point on the calendar. Some parts of it are more probability based, like the green and yellow certificate stuff, while other parts are based on more concrete numbers, like the daily logins. You can also enable or disable certain sections like the monthly card or the certificate shop. Oldwell.info is all about tracking future events and everything that comes with them. It will show you the upcoming characters, skins, modules, and materials to farm. It also has links to other wikis if you need more info about X thing. It's fairly customizable. You can hide certain tabs you don't care about. If you don't want to know about farmable resources or upcoming welfare unit, you can disable those sections. You can even change the user interface colors and the Calcit logo from different artists who are credited here. Hermit's Planner allows you to check future and rerunning skins, select the ones you want, and budget the cost. You can check the gallery section to have a closer look at the skins. It features in-game animations and a way to compare with the original appearances. AKG-CC or AKG Resources is mainly known for its story reader. Most of the story is here, including operator records, operator modules, and IS stuff. It also features background art, full character models, sound effect, and background music. This is the closest you'll get to matching the experience of reading in-game. Another of this website's lesser known feature is this randomizer thing here. Select a bunch of settings and a randomized squad or stage will be given to you. You're able to remove certain operators or events from the randomizer pool if you don't own the character or whatever. If you have a pretty built account, you can challenge yourself on a new event by getting a random squad for each stage. ASTR is another story reader, much more focused on the text and accessibility settings. This one doesn't even have pictures of the characters. On this website, you have the option between the different server languages, and you can even display two languages at once if you're bilingual and want to see how the translation differs. You can change the font size and line spacing if you need bigger text to read. It's also the website with the chapter word count that people like to reference. ArcRec, or Arknights Record Wiki, is an archive of low operator clears of every stage in the game. You can search by stage, operator, or category. Once you click on a stage, you can see the general low ops record of that stage. There's a preview and a link to the clear, usually on Bilibili. You can sort by category or niche in this drop-down menu. Battle Records is kinda similar to ArcRec, but more general and casual guides or clears from YouTube. It allows you to include or exclude specific operators to find videos that accommodate your roster. It doesn't have a lot yet as it is still a work in progress website. Arknights PvP Wiki. Keep in mind this is also work in progress at the moment. This wiki is looking to keep track and archive all player versus player Arknights tournaments. At the bottom here, you can find a bunch of tournaments separated into which server they were held in. The majority of these are IS tournaments. Each tournament page has a lot of cool information on the format, the rules, and its participants. Kazimierz, a pronunciation guide, the website from the intro. Polish guy teaches us how to pronounce the Polish words featured in the Kazimierz event stories.
Młynar. Młynar.
Most of the words also have a little definition alongside it. Now we need someone to do this for German, Italian, Mandarin, and probably a few other languages. Maybe even Scottish English, I don't know. Speaking of bagpipes voice lines, the next website is TLVR, or Rhode Island Tetralingual Voice Record Archive. It archives all the character voice lines in the game and features all 4 main languages and the regional voices.
Ah, fancy that, skiving off. Oh, got me jealous. Doesn't he beat a nice hay pile for a few winks the way? I'm nodding off just thinking about it. Wouldn't hurt to take a wee kip myself. Oh.
Arknights Wordle. It's Wordle but with Arknights characters. You can test your knowledge of character races, factions, and infection status. Check it out, it's pretty fun. MSR. The only official website on this list. It features almost all the Arknights original soundtrack. It's a very aesthetic first website more than utility or practicality. ArcWaifu archives in-game artworks shown in the story. Each chapter or side story separates the artwork by images, background, and character models. You can go further into a specific stage to find only the artwork used in there. Arknights PRTS. This one works in the same way Cruster collects your in-game data, so go in at your own risk. In fact, before Cruster's update, it was possible to import your in-game data through this website. Now it just allows you to check some interesting info about your account. For example, you can check a simple pull history to see all the banners you've pulled on. You can also check your stage clear numbers. I've apparently cleared 1-7 this many times. Not an Arknights website, but check out this Porkle quiz. Naming over 350 Arknights operators in 25 minutes seems absolutely insane. Good luck trying. Moving on, this last section is for Spreadsheets. Arknights Base Combo. This is like the Bible for all your base efficiency needs. Not much else to say, it's already pretty well known if you follow people like Peter YR on YouTube. An Arknights operator tier list and mastery priority. This is just the GamePress tier list and mastery priority put in the form of Google Sheets and updated to the latest operators. There's 2 spreadsheets for modules. The modules data sheet will give you all the unbiased info you need on every modules in the game. It has all the numbers at different levels and all the material cost. Dragon GJY's module rating sheet, on the other hand, is very opinionated, with a tier list-like rating system and additional notes. It also doesn't cover lower rarity operators modules anymore. Arknights Operator Quick Ref, a reference for upcoming operators and modules, plus an archive of operators who have their modules and Paradox Sim, and when they were added to the global server. There are multiple reclamation algorithm sheets out there. This one has all the map layouts and where the resources can spawn. This one is for planning out your headquarter base layout. And there's 2 different sheets for food recipes. Pick whichever one you prefer. And that's pretty much it for this video. These Arknights websites are just as important as the content creation scene of AK. They are made by and for Arknights fan. Check them out and support them if you can. If you know any more tools and resources out there that I didn't mention, feel free to comment, or just tell me which one of these you use the most. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video or found it informative. This is like my first real video and I don't know if I'll make any more.